What's up, everybody? Juice is Loose podcast. We're back. Another week, another video game discussion. Got a lot to discuss. So let's get right in. I'm going to start by last week. I had a mini rant basically about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I was really hung up on how it wasn't like X and the ways I liked X with the exploration and stuff. And I hadn't played it in a couple of days when I was saying that. I've played the game every day since then. And honestly, once I let go of the exploration aspect and just really got into, I was already into the story, but once I progressed a little further, got another person added to my party, another driver and blade that I didn't even know you're gonna be able to play as, and is like one of my favorite characters. So the game really won me over in the last 5 days, 6 days. Like, I am like all in with this game now. I understand it's not trying to be X, and once I figured that out and just let Xenoblade Chronicles 2 be the game it is, like, I'm just really enjoying it. Yeah, the map still sucks. That update isn't going to really improve that. If anyone was thinking that, it's basically just when you hit X, it brings you up to where you are. Still the same. It's other than that, it's still the same map feature. That's the only part of the game I'm still like frustrated with from what I was saying last week. But everything else, like, there's some freaking funny ass moments happening. Like I said, one of the characters I just really love the design of is now a playable driver you can put in your party, and then the blade that goes with that person is like just probably the best blade design, I think. And I'm just like absolutely loving the game now. I mean, it's definitely climbed the charts for me for Switch games this year. And I got about 50 hours in. I'm at level 43. Trying not to do the cheat, the in where you can bump it up. I bumped my level up a few times, and there's no real benefit because you don't get the weapon points to upgrade, and you don't get the infinity points. So it gives you some more XP, and HP, and that's about it. So I'm trying not to do that. I know I was shocked when you said you were at 51.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm at like 50. What is it, 54 now? I think.
I feel like I'm close to the end of the game, honestly. Like,
no, because you haven't hit the climax yet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Climax.
But
yeah, you ain't shit, T.
And then
we're starting early.
Good.
Like I said, like, the game really won me over. Like, I feel like I was a little too harsh on it last week. I was just still hung up on, like, X. My favorite thing about X is the exploration. Was the plant, was the world, the continents, finding a cave or getting to a top of somewhere finally that I've been looking at. Like, that stuff to me is the best thing about X. The combat's number 2. So the combat in both these games are just as good. There's some different variations. There's different things you can do with each game. But I'm really loving it, and I hopefully Robert can put some time in this game, because there's some awesome cutscene moments that are just hilarious, man. I know you'd love them. Hopefully you get that far. But anybody else put some time in? Got any comments on anything about
I have one small complaint about the game now. Like, I'm loving, like, it's almost everything I wanted X to be. Like, I'm walking around and I'm going into this forest, and there's a house there. There's people living there. I go somewhere else. There's events happening. Like, the world feels so alive. I love it. Then, like, I'm infiltrating the ship in a small corridors, and somehow this massive battle system fits in these tiny fucking corridors. Like, I'm having fun battling and
don't forget me.
System.
You won't forget me.
It is just that the one thing. There's the one thing I absolutely hate in this game. And I don't think I've ever had a game that has it this bad, because I like doing side quests. I want to do everything complete, and I do this side quest, and this person tells me to do something, and then I'll get a reward, and I do this fucking thing, and he tells me, oh, well, thank you, you did this, but I actually wanted something else, like over here, and then you do that, and you're like, okay, fine, now give me my fucking reward, and then I do that, and it's, oh, and by the way, there was this other thing here, I need this ingredient, and there's way too many side quests that give me side quests as rewards, and I hate that.
Well, there's one, I don't know if you're talking about, with someone that cooks dumplings. Have you done that one?
I don't think so. I'm still like most of these are like in the Torigoth village still somehow.
Torigoth, and I was like, what the fuck? But the payoff is it's.
Wait, you're talking about a Vest?
It's a blade. I mean, you get a rare blade.
No, don't spoil it, because you're talking about Vest, ain't you?
Well, I ain't saying who I'm talking about. I'm just saying. So
the
only one where I'm like, why am I doing 10 fucking things,
dude?
And then the payoff was actually a new
Well, the rewards in general are kind of nice. I do agree, but just give me a big side quest then, and I'll do it. But it's like, okay, yeah, this dude is like crying, oh, my fucking kid is lost. Can you get my kid? And I got his fucking kid. Oh, my kid was making cookies. Could you get me these ingredients? And I got him these ingredients. Oh, yeah, these. But I need this wood from this other dude. It's like,
yeah,
give me everything at once. Don't give me like I hate this system where like
back
I do
and
this
forth, running back and forth,
and just get more side quests out of it. Just give me my reward.
Yeah, or
I'm gonna warn you in advance that keeps happening. I'm gonna say it right now.
It feels like
but I know there's a lot of that already, and that's my only really minor point of this game. That is getting way out of hand.
T, were you saying something? You got cut off.
No, I was just saying that it feels like padding when you do that, where it's just like,
it's like,
just tell me to do all this stuff at once, and then I'll come back when I'm done.
Get the shit. Oh, I got to go back, talk to him. Oh, now I got to go here. Like that's where I was at last week. I was doing more side quests. Now I said, you know what? I'm just going to push through with the main story.
That's what I'm going to do now. Exactly.
I was playing in portable mode yesterday, which is another thing I want to talk about. At my sister's house, I was just grinding, and that's when I was doing I was like, you know what? I'm going to clear, like, I had like 8 or 9 side quests lingering, and I got it down to like 3. And so I was just like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm fast travel constantly. And I just did it. And it's not fun, but when I'm playing in portable mode, it's loud. I didn't want any main story stuff to be happening. So I was grinding my character level and taking care of side quests, you know. So for me, that was like a lot of people were saying before the game came out, you know, this is going to be a grinding game, and that's why the portability. The one thing, you know, the big controversy when the game came out was how it looked in portable mode. Well, I'm playing in the later Titans, and I'm playing for 2 hours, and not even once did I think about the graphics. Like, I was just playing it. I'm enjoying it. I went back to Gormont, which is where Torgoth's at, and I immediately was like, oh my God, it looks so bad compared to other areas. And that's one of the first places you go. And I think that's why everybody was like, my God, this game looks terrible in portable mode. That area looks so much worse than any other area. And I mean, some of the other areas are still pretty big. Whatever that area is doing, maybe with all the grass and the trees, like that area looks like a 4 out of 10. And then some of the other areas, I would say, like, are even game looks good, like 8 out of 10 visuals in portable mode. I'm like, man, this looks fine. This looks good. But then I go to that one area, and I think that's why everyone was like talking about how bad it looked, because that's the first area you get to.
Yeah.
But the rest of my belt looked fine. I don't know if his mic's going out.
That's what I said earlier.
It didn't seem as bad as it did now all of a sudden.
Yeah, T, I don't know if you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Right now? You can't
Okay,
hear me?
there we go.
Were you saying anything? It's
A short in the wire, because this, if you guys can see this thing, it's barely hanging on.
Yeah, just staying real still.
You can't move.
So it won't be, won't bend or anything. So
Terrell, I know you play in portable mode a lot. Did you notice what I was just talking about, or?
Gormod is probably the worst looking area of the game in portable. I've kind of adjusted to it to the point where it doesn't really bother me as much. But I do completely agree with the fact that Gormod is the worst looking area in portable mode. And I think part of it has something to do with the fact that the later levels of the game aren't as open. And maybe that's what I think that might be what part of it is that Gormod is like one of the most open areas in the game, and it's not a good first impression. It's not terrible, but Jesus Christ, sometimes you just have to stop and be like, no, I know y'all didn't do this. I know y'all didn't put this game out like this.
Anybody else feel like major moments they want it? Like if I think like I'm getting close, like to a story mission, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go any further. I'm just going to grind, and I'm going to say wait till I get home, till it's on the TV to see this cutscene. Like that's how I am. Even though it looks, some of the other areas look fine, I still would rather just see it as best as it can because the cutscenes are so well done. The animation, everything looks really good, and I don't want to have the major story element in portable. Like I'm gonna wait till it's docked. I don't know if anybody else feeling that.
Not as much because sometimes I want to see the story as quick as possible, and especially the day I got into a whole bunch of story stuff, and I was like, I'm not waiting till I get home for this. I can't. I absolutely cannot. So I was feeling like that in the beginning, not so much now because I'm so engaged in the story. I'm too fucking invested, man.
Yeah, I did Heart to Heart, which has dialogue, like voice acting, but it's not. It's just the game, and it's not like dramatic angle. It's just basically
one flat angle.
Yeah, it's just really they didn't take any time. There's no direction, no cinematography going on. It's just your game, just how it looks, and then it just has little bubbles with text. And it was the funniest one about cooking a fish, and
I know what you're talking about.
They want to gut it, and they thought it was looking at them, and it was just man. And I actually something happened where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna restart that because I was mad about something that happened. I forget. Can't remember the circumstances. And I was
like, on the dialogue choice, maybe you had to pick.
Wasn't thinking that. Something I did, and I was like, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna start my save file over. I can't think of what it was. So I was like, you know what? Since I did that, I'm gonna try the other option. And it was even funnier. Like, why is there two options that you can't, like, you really have to, like, you'd have to save right before if you really want to know, like, the full dialogue of the Heart to Hearts. Like, it was funnier the second way. And it was like, I was mad that, I remember I had cooked, there was one of these missions where you had 5 choices of a dish to cook, and you just had to guess at which one was the one it needed. And I was wrong 2 times in a row, and then finally on the third time I was right. So I just said, you know what? I didn't have enough ingredients to keep making it, so I just quit and got back in and tried the next one because I'm like, it was just that's another really dumb.
Oh, you're talking about that side quest for the Nopon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about.
I don't know where these items are. Every time I see a dot, I not scavenge, but you know, the out in the world, you got the white dot where it tells you, hey, there's things to obtain here. I do that every time I see one.
Yeah, that's like the worst aspect of this game. There is no real like item encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to say too. Yeah, that's one of my biggest negative too. When you have a side quest and you have to get an item, and you just gotta hope that what you dig up is going to be that item. That is really stupid.
Yeah, it's like
unlike X, it's highlighted. It's like a different color. It tells you.
Yeah, right. X I will say easily did that better.
Yeah,
X had just the diamond shape and is like, oh, it might be what you're looking for.
Whatever. I hope that's it.
But this one isn't any better because I needed like 3 of each of these ingredients, so I could make. Like I said, I had to pick one of 5, and every time I pick one, I couldn't make the second one, so I had to. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go try to find these freaking ingredients because I'm 50. Well, at that point, it's like 40 hours in, and I only have like 3 of each of these things, and that's what I need. Like, there's no way I'm gonna go find more.
Well, I will say the general description of some of the items give you at least the continent. I mean, the Titan you're supposed to be on.
Yeah, they do that better.
Yeah, it was just like.
So you have an idea where it's at. It's just more of you still kind of have to wander around. If you only got 3 of them, that probably tells me it's a somewhat rare item.
Could be. But, I mean, the point I was really trying to get to was how the Heart to Hearts have the branching option. And, like, I think from this point on, I'm just going to save right before. And just because it was so funny both ways. It was completely a different thing, but about the same thing. It was so much, like, why'd you have it so if someone's going to pick one and they're never going to know this other just hilarious moment that happens?
Because they want you to replay the game.
Yeah, I don't remember what choice I made, but
and then you got to remember, and then that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. Most people are just gonna look it up on YouTube. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to just like look up and where's this item at, and it's like, oh, it's here.
Oh yeah, I had to do that a while ago because some of the fucking like Blade heart-to-heart side quests are fucking long, dude.
Single one.
They what?
I haven't done a single Blade side quest.
Really? To me, those are like my favorites.
I have not had one even open up for me, so
Really?
it's one of
Well,
those.
some of I noticed you had to like go to the inn in that area and sleep.
Ends and stuff. Multiple times I've had, some funny dialogue, like
I'm
the
trying to
story.
think.
But
Because see, the problem is that because all the blades are random, I don't know where certain blade side quests trigger. Like I notice if I'm doing if I have like a new blade in my party and I'm doing side quests, sometimes cutscenes will just randomly trigger while I'm walking around in a new area.
Mm.
The problem is that it's random because unless you go look up a guide for your blade.
And then I don't even use the rare blades. Their weapons are kind of lame. Like there's a character that throws this ball like once every like 5 seconds. It takes forever to charge your arts up. Like the CPU
yo-yo ball.
It's like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pick this character. I'm gonna try this blade, and I'm like 3 minutes into the fight, and I'm like at level 1 for the special. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like when the CPU's this character, they're like hitting level 3, right? Like finishing a blade combo, and it's like, so honestly, I have no rare blades set to my active roster. They're all set going on mercenary.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't like any, like, I don't know. They don't provide anything over the basic ones.
I think it depends on which ones you have. I don't know which ones you specifically have. Some of them are way better than others. I will say that.
I have no one that was like, wow, this blade's awesome. Like these.
Well, actually, I know there's one that you had that I just recently got, which was that what's the name of Zombie? The girl. She's like the dark girl.
She's also has it with the gun.
Yeah.
She's got another slow attack. It takes forever to build up your arts.
I think because I think because then she use like dark based elements and shit.
Yeah, and it's like the combos, the blade combos, like kind of dictate what elements I want to use. Because if you start with fire, then it's just. I thought it was each enemy had a different combo. No, if you start with fire, it's the same branch. It's the same combo. So then I just started setting my blades to have the right elements to finish the combos, and it's like that dictates more than anything what blades I have set.
Yeah, so the way I experiment is I just started changing. Like once 2 of my characters had like dark base moves, I mean 2 of my blades had dark base. I just took both of those characters and put them in my party, and then swapped out in between them. Because I think the AI is good enough for your partners to realize that you're using a dark base element combo. Here's my dark character, stack it. Because you can get because there are some other combos you won't see if you just stick to like fire, ground, wind, and water and shit.
Yeah, I realize that, but anyway,
I think I'm still getting screwed with those blades. Like I think last week, like I said, I had this one thing and it was a dude. And I think I've gotten 2 new blades and they were both dudes. Like I'm getting the only dudes in the whole fucking game.
Do you remember what dudes they were? Like just their designs?
One of them was a tiger thingy. One of them was this that I just got, this half-naked dude with he's water-based. I don't remember what he is.
Oh, is he that fish man looking one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And the one that I got first, he's pretty cool. He's this Japanese drunken samurai kind of fire guy. He looks really cool. He uses like gravity attacks and shit. He's really cool. But yeah, I want some titty flops in my game too, man.
no titty flop my rare blades. 0.
I
got a little
most
kitty,
of mine aren't either.
little kitty bird character.
The fuck is that?
Girl with a polar bear.
Oh, you're talking about oh, I know you're talking about. Actually, I just started doing her side quest where she wants to be a singer.
See, if I knew how to activate side quests, maybe that'd be something
hers is in Torgoth. You go to the inn at night.
Why would I go to the inn at night? Like why would I do that with her?
Because the game is really specific about what you do to trigger their side quests.
There's no way I'm gonna do that. Like I don't go to Torgoth. I don't use the inns anymore unless I have to for the main story. Like
Well, that one I think it's actually in her affinity. Like the affinity locks for the blades.
Yeah, I've been doing all that.
One of them for hers. One of them actually says you go. That's how you trigger her side quest. Is you go to the Torgoth Inn at night, and then you get the whole her wanting to be a singer on her road to being a famous singer.
Because I've not encountered a blade that told me.
Well, they don't inherently tell you. That's the other. It's like I said, the game suffers from that. Some of the shit you should just tell me instead of me having to look it up.
Use your favorite so and so's favorite item from the music instrument category in your pouch. There's like 100 items in the instrument category.
Oh yeah, I started looking at Poppies is the absolute fucking worst because you can't upgrade her other. I can't spoil it. You can't upgrade certain aspects of the affinity chart unless you get that specific fucking item. So I just fucking Googled that. I've just accepted I have to Google for certain aspects of this.
So many elements of this game that are like the chips that you have to, the raw chips you have to go in and use items you have to make it like a usable buff. And I'm like, why not? Why'd you do that? I find the chip and I can apply it if I want it. Like, why do I have to go through extra steps? There's a lot of little elements that are just unnecessary. I don't even use salvaging anymore. There's absolutely no need for me, I feel, to salvage anymore.
Side missions.
I just like the mechanic of the salvaging.
I liked it at first, but then there's no reason for it anymore. Like, there's no use for it. So, I mean, it's still a great game. I still can't wait. That's all I think about. I want to play. I stopped playing the Zelda DLC.
Really?
Honestly, I'm 3/4 of the way through. I just got one more.
I'm still surprised you put it down for that.
I don't know. I got sucked in. So the update's coming out this Friday, which has, you hit X and it pops the map up to where you're at, which is cool. And a few other things. I forget the other stuff. Nothing major that I remember. But
I think some DLC stuff.
When they said improved map, I'm like, really? I was like, that's awesome. Then I read the details. I was like, yeah. I mean, it is nice because sometimes I'm like, where the hell am I on the map?
Yeah, it'd be nice to know where you are.
At least
they made Poppy's mini game easy. They have an easy mode.
Oh yeah,
now.
That is some frustrating shit.
Especially level 3. Do I need to get good or?
Oh no, I need to get. You need to get good because I swear I've gotten way too good at that game now because of it.
I can only do level 1. Like, there's been runs where I've killed every enemy. I've gotten every collectible, but I've never done it all at the same time. There's like an extra bonus. Like got back with no health, or I got all the chests, or I got all the things. What's the main thing you want to get for Bobby?
The fucking ether.
Ether, yeah. I got all the ethers. I think there's 82 or something on that level. And I got so good, and then I felt like I can do this, and then I started dying a bunch of times because I got overconfident. And then I actually regress. So, and then I see one of her affinity upgrades. You have to get 50,000 points. I got 25. I got at least an hour plus into that mini game, and I'm halfway where I need to be. I'm like, fuck you. But that's another game that in portable mode, that's if you just really are on a lunch break or something, like I could see myself just playing that just to get through it, So anyway, let's get on to some other topics here. Let's see. Rocket League's getting a physical release. So talked about it before. I love Rocket League. Haven't played as much the last week. I was playing Xenoblade. The update came out. They lied. They said it was update 1.4, but on the Switch it's 1.0.2. So I didn't think I got it. So I kept trying to get in contact with them on Twitter. They finally said, "Oh, yeah, you have the newest version." I'm like, well, why did it say 1.4 on everything you released? But anyway, physical version is coming out. All right, it's the same physical version you get. They pick some DLC cars and they include it in the physical version, just like with the Xbox and PS4, which are $30 games. Well, the Switch version's $40. And they said the manufacturing cost of a cartridge is the reason for $10 increase. We know this game's only 5 gigs.
Yeah, what are they talking about?
So I'm like, you kidding me? You're using the smallest cart. Like, this is, you got microtransactions, you got loot boxes. I'm fine because that stuff's, I wanted the Batmobile. I paid $2, so I got $22 in the game. This physical version comes with a lot of the cars. Most of them are stupid. If anyone's looked through the garage or whatever, the shop, they're all pretty lame except for a couple of them, in my opinion. But $10 more for the smallest, and we know it's using the smallest card. I got a problem with that. Like that bugs me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It doesn't bother me very much because Rocket League is one of those games that I've always been playing. I knew even if they would have had it physical, it's one of the rare games I know I wanted digitally because I'm turning it on all the time still. So I don't mind. I do think it is weird that the games are still getting like these bumps because not all games are getting it. It's just one random game here and there. So there's got to be something up with that stuff.
Yeah, it's getting inconsistent.
Well, how does a game we know is using the 8 gig cart got a $10 bump, and then we know LA Noir uses the 16 gig cart, and that's a $10 bump. So something's not right, and I don't understand why it has to be. If it's gonna be like, if let's say you realize, oh, it's more than a CD, obviously. Why can't it be $5? Like $3? Why does it have to be 10 every fucking time? And like I said, this game has tons of microtransactions, loot boxes, and it's been the #1 game on the eShop other than 2 weeks since it came out. Like, we know it's selling well. To me, this is a misstep. Like, I don't understand. I can't get behind $10 extra for this physical version with what you're getting.
The confusion started, especially for me. I think it was Rhyme, maybe, I don't know, where it was $10 more. But then they said, but then you get the soundtrack. But I'm like, if the soundtrack is $10, then why don't you just take out the soundtrack and not have the 10 extra bucks? Like, some of the shit just really makes no sense.
If the soundtrack was that minuscule, then take it out and then let me just pay.
Exactly.
And basically, even the physical version, they're forcing you to pay for these cars. And like I said, I looked through a lot of the cars, other than the Fast and the Furious, the Batmobile, and the DeLorean. They're just stupid, really lame looking designs, and they're like, oh, we're giving you, these cars that you don't really want. Like, why isn't it just the base game if it's going to cost a little bit more for the physical version? Like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's
like, personally, like, I don't care about it because I'm not gonna buy it. Like, the $20 digital one is the best version because it's always on my Switch. I can just pop right into it. So that's the one I want. But it does. I mean, it does annoy me that I feel like they're trying to gouge people on the Switch version. I don't know.
Does Yooka-Laylee have a physical?
No,
No.
they're gonna though. I think eventually they said
Yeah, eventually.
It's $10 more, but like, I
it
mean,
might.
Prime did it, and LA Noir. They're the only 2 games that have done it, and
Nobody's buying Yooka-Laylee at $50.
yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
no. Oh, hell
That's
no.
very true.
So they might as well not even bring that out. That's the case.
It's like, Gamers Club. Well, Gamers Club applies to the game being $30 too. Like, that doesn't make up the $10 difference. That gives you.
You're still losing $10. You're still
That's
losing.
$8 more
Yeah.
than. It just doesn't make any sense, and I don't agree with it. I hate that it's a game that I love, and I like everything they've done. That update, if you guys got it, the portable mode looks fantastic now. Like, it looks so much better. There's a comparison. Somebody did some screenshots, and it's like, holy crap! Like, I didn't realize how blurry that was in portable mode. I like what they've done. It's a good port. It's fun. The online's great. I only had one time now. I've had one bit of lag. Every other time it's played perfect, and it's just like, it's selling great. Why they gotta be greedy? I just don't like it.
Because they can.
They can, and like, I would just tell anybody, like, the $20 digital version, like Retro said, like it's great to have that game always right there because it's one of those games you want to play a lot and just get in, play some matches, and get out without having to take out like Xenoblade and Mario.
Yeah.
Or like that is what I think is great about indie games. Like, that's what I didn't want to buy X and Verge physical because to me, when I want to play that, I just want it on my system type of thing. And so I if it was me, unless you just absolutely have to have physical, that's one of the games I think is best suited for digital. So, but it is a bummer that the physical is $10 higher. Like it just seems like they can't. Like I said, they can't just say, well, it's gonna be $5 higher. It's gonna be $4. Like it has to be 10 every time.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, it should be like, for instance, for that, it should be at least at the max 5 at the max.
Yeah, for that we know it's the 8 gig card. That's what gets me.
Yeah, I thought the thing was that the 8 gig card was comparable to the DVD, as far as manufacturing costs. So something's fishy.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's hard to believe anyway that the cards are that much more expensive than Blu-rays.
I mean, in this
Not
day,
really.
Blu-rays are pretty. Unless you go out and try to buy some blank ones, then they're fucking expensive. But what they're paying for them.
Yeah, if you buy them in bulk, it's pretty cheap.
I wonder what they're thinking for sales. I mean, the game's been #1 on the eShop. We don't know what that means. Does that mean 500,000, 100,000? We don't know.
For what? What game?
For Rocket League, like what? I wonder what
Still
they're
number
thinking.
1?
Yeah, it got back up. Xenoblade was there for a week, and then now Xenoblade's 4, Rocket League's back to #1, and it was only got down to 2. It didn't drop any further. And that game came out in what day was that? November 17th or 10th? I can't remember when Rocket League.
I think it was 17th, right? I think that's right.
I'm not
It was right around.
It's too late.
I thought it was. No, yeah, you're right. It's 17 because
Yeah.
Right around
10.
So yeah, it's been over a month, and it's been #1 pretty much almost the whole time. So, like maybe they're thinking they got a lot of sales. They don't need to make a bunch of physical. Like maybe they're not gonna. Maybe that's why it's more. But still, it's definitely a blemish on an otherwise great port, great game. And
Well, let somebody else do it then. What's that company that does all the indie games physical? That just got greenlit basically for Switch.
Limited Run.
Yeah. They don't seem to be hurting as far as these costs for these indie games go.
How did Has Been Heroes only was $20? The same price on Switch physical. Like it just I don't know.
That game's on a 800 megabyte card.
Wow.
But
Fucking savage.
then you'd hope the Rocket League physical comes with the most current update and everything, so you don't have to use any additional memory when you get the game to download. So, but all right, let's talk about another game that's getting an update, no date set, and that's ARM. Little sneak trailer for the 5.0 update. Cool trailer, great music, cool, pretty cool looking character. I mean, not 100% sold on the design, but it's definitely got me excited to pick ARMS up because I think the last new character wasn't very new. It was just Springman, basically.
Yeah.
Not too many people try, and even the character before that, I don't even remember his name.
Oh, Masango?
Is that it?
Yeah, Zongo.
Like that, I don't know. That didn't hold my attention too long. But there's so many games that were coming out, so I think this new character could have potential to get us back in.
Because it's a girl.
And I feel like
Nobody cares about T-Hawk. Basically, it's T-Hawk and ARMS.
when I saw that,
hating that day, hating.
I jumped on Twitter. I'm thinking, and I feel like I'm the only one who was like all in with this idea. I thought as soon as I got on Twitter, I missed it by like an hour, like when it wasn't revealed. I'm like, oh, there's going to be a bunch of Samus ARMS, like mix photos already made. People are going to have it. Not one person put that together. I think that the shoulders, the color of the shoulders, and the whole back piece with the two circles, it looks just like Samus's back to me. I thought it was
the lightning thing. I mean, come on.
And I'm like,
Nobody say anything about that.
I'm like, what do you mean?
A little lightning design. It's green.
Yeah,
light.
her logo has like a
little logo. There's like a little lightning bolt. And it's just, that's like Samus's lightning bolt.
Oh yeah, and the green hair, which Samus had.
Green hair, yeah.
Had green hair.
Original.
And I'm like, I thought it was Samus. Like, oh no shit, they're putting Samus, and I'm like, I don't know if that's Samus.
It's not.
The whole laughing thing and the boots and the skirt, like nothing else felt like it. But I thought that's got to be like even
That's an inspiration there, though. It has to be.
like hardly anybody like was feeling that. Like even when I posted on it, and I was like, I guess I can kind of see that. I'm just like, man, I thought it was like, I thought Samus was in arms when I saw that trailer at first. I was like, damn, they did it. But
You didn't fucking need it. You just wanted it so bad.
it just looks. I mean, it's even the same color. Like there's so many elements that say Samus to me. So I'd be curious to
Because all these Metroid fans don't actually exist.
Oh, that should make you sad.
That's why they didn't make the connection. It's just like,
We ain't got no Metroid fans. Leaving that shit.
I checked Game Explain's video just because I thought of if anybody was going to pick up on that.
there's
And
no Metroid games. They're loud as hell. So
they had a 2-minute video and not even a mention of anything other than some of the other stuff. And I was like, man, they didn't see. Like, am I making this up? But
I don't even care, dude. I'm super excited just for some cutscenes, some new cutscenes for it, because we see it in the trailer.
yeah, I mean, it's a cool reveal.
Where she gets behind Max Braz and it's like a surprise motherfucker moment. and then she tries to swing on that man. I have my suspicions that this might be Min Min's sister, because they do reference her in the lore of the game. Like I think the Mechanica stage, not Min Min, I meant Mechanica, my bad. Mechanica stage, apparently her sister is referenced in that stage. And it's like, oh yeah, she has an older sister who's really smart, and I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of funny if her older sister was crazy and evil. That's why because we know that she's like a huge Lollipop fangirl. Maybe it's because her fucking sister's a crazy bitch. But you know, that's just some headcanon going on right now. And they're like, it'll be out by the end of the year. So you mean like in the next few weeks, right? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, before the end of the year, you have 13 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Just date it. But you remember back in the day when Robert said this game wouldn't have more than 10 characters in total?
Well, that just tells me that you never trust Robert's opinion on things.
Well, wait, what are we at? What's the number?
What are we at, 13, 14?
13 or 14. Yeah.
I was close. No.
You're getting wronger and wronger as time goes on, though.
Every month or so, you're getting less and less.
Your credibility is going right down the toilet.
We're not gonna give. You're not close. We're not gonna give you that.
I feel like T. Cruz had that moment, like, wait a minute,
It's like,
fuck him, he ain't getting shit.
right? You're over.
Let's see.
You're wrong, sir. You're wrong.
Maybe over, but you know it's
So
not by a lot.
It launched for 10, then we got Max Brass, Lola Pop,
And then
Sango or whatever, the Spring Man
Springton.
guy.
Zongo, nobody cares.
And then this new one, that'll be 15.
What?
That'll be
Exposed.
15.
That was a random statement. I was confused.
Well, maybe it'll end at 60.
So the question is, how many more do you guys expect?
Well, I mean, we got what? Well, if we don't count Springtron, we got like what? And I don't know if you count Max
I'll
Brass.
count
Considered...
Spring and Max Brass.
I think maybe a couple more.
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, because we still haven't even gotten the plant-based fighter that was in the data leak.
So
Oh, that's true. I'm
probably-
gonna say 4, so you get 20 in total.
Yeah, I don't believe you, Robert. Robert knows what the fuck he's talking
Mr.
about.
10 tops.
Yeah, I know. I don't trust this man. So,
Then there's going to be 19. Get out
don't
of
trust
here.
this man. Don't
I
trust
don't want to hear
him.
from you.
You don't know what he's talking about.
I'm feeling one more after this one. That's what I'm thinking.
Really?
Yeah, just based on what the leaks were kind of all pretty accurate, and that there's basically one more left. So that's kind of where I'm.
Oh yeah, because Lollipop was in the leaks because they named the character Sweet, which is essentially what Lollipop is, a candy clown girl.
A thick candy cone.
There you go.
They're just parachute.
Let it go. Goodness gracious.
He's young and impressionable, T. You got to excuse him. Help this man out. He needs it.
Even if she was thick, there's nothing There's nothing appealing about a lollipop clown. I'm sorry.
Hey, man, hey, look. I ain't talking about getting the D.
Yeah,
but she
everyone,
is
everyone
cute.
wants to
There's
eat
nothing
out
else.
candy.
I'm just saying, there's no sex appeal.
Well, when you keep
Well, I
saying
think it was
thick, and it's
supposed to
just inflated pants, that's not thick. That's not what,
That's not the
ridiculous.
pants. That's the skin.
if
That's
her
not the
pants were
skin.
tight and they
Not
look
said
like,
it's creepy.
Dude, it's the skin. I'm telling
It
you.
I
isn't.
feel like so. You just think she's just expanding her legs and shit.
Literally, she's literally just blowing up.
No, that's air in her pants.
I don't think so, man.
And I don't know how it gets in there.
we got. we got to dissolve
Hair
it.
in her
It's like
pants.
a hydraulic. It's like those cars that could jump, bounce
is
up.
happening
And down.
right
They had
now?
the airbags. That's what.
How did this
So
happen?
serious. It's air in her pants.
Can we
I
just
don't know, man. I think.
Not
it's,
her
it's the
legs
skin.
are not that material.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
I don't know, man. We gotta ask the developers.
Every time we talk about Low Pop, Robert says that it just
Yeah, every time.
Oh,
Because you know what the fuck he's talking about. That's why. He's over there talking a bunch of bullshit.
I don't know.
Okay,
man.
wait, no, actually, I looked it up. I just looked it up real quick to see what the data mine characters were. I think the ones we don't know about is Plant, Scroll, Sumo, Surprise. Those are the ones I see that we don't. Oh, and apparently there's another one called Coil. And yeah, that's it.
She's Lola Pop. Her pants blow up like a balloon. That's the.
Can we not?
Where did you say that?
Just
Where
said
did
it's
you say
so
that?
obvious that this kid would not let it go.
It's just a video game character at this point.
No, where does it say that? I'm telling you, the
It's pretty
developer.
obvious.
No, but she even does her mouth. And she go "Roar," like she goes like.
Yeah, it's called miming exactly what's happening. You're doing the face.
Anyway, we're
fuck it.
moving on.
No, okay.
My prediction is she's thick.
Stop it. That's so
So,
sick of your shit.
You're thick in the head. You.
If someone like cut that part out, he'd be like, "You're thick." What? Huh?
Retro said something about a game that I don't really want to. I don't want to get into someone's opinion like that, but we have some other people that played this game, so I'm gonna get their opinions too. See if maybe it can balance out Retro's ridiculous statement that Yooka-Laylee is far.
Now we're going with this.
Here we go.
But anyway, let's get T. You had a chance to play the game. You're probably the biggest Rare, the company Rare's fan here. So why don't you give us your Yooka-Laylee impressions, and then I got a couple questions about it since I haven't played it myself.
The game's trash. No, the game. I mean, it looks good, plays well. What am I? I'm probably like 10 hours. Am I that much in it? No, I can't be. I'm somewhere between 5 and 7 hours in, and you could. How to best put this? There seems to be a little bit. I talk about this a lot with editing and stuff. They could have used a little bit of editing as far as the level design, because I love Banjo-Kazooie, but Banjo-Tooie is like, oh, let's do that, but more,
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of really large worlds where there's not a whole lot to do, and that doesn't really suit a platforming game well. Even an action platformer, even an action platformer like Banjo-Kazooie. So, if anything, it's closer to Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie, which is not terrible, but it's not as precise. It's not as tight as Banjo-Kazooie was as far as the gameplay and the worlds go. But it's still great. I'm having a blast with it. I put that on Twitter, I think. And visually looks great. It runs great. None of the problems that I guess the Xbox One version had back when, and the early versions where, because it seemed, I guess Playtonic themselves actually didn't. They weren't the ones doing those versions, and this version they were, and they had the help of Nintendo. And
well, wasn't there at the beginning? Doesn't it say another studio in the beginning of the? I thought I watched some gameplay. Someone started it from the beginning. I thought,
maybe, but from what I heard it in an interview or something, that Playtonic was actually hands-on with this version of the game. their in-house, at least a bunch of guys from the in-house.
I mean, I have to rewatch. Somebody started from the beginning, and it had a different studio at the beginning.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that, but I guess even with that, I don't know. This is just something I heard
It
from.
definitely looks like it runs really. I was shocked that it was
great. It runs great. I haven't, had any issues with that. Like I said, the only issues I have is maybe, I guess you would consider game design, level design. But other than that, I mean, it feels like, it does really feel like a late 90s era platformer, which is, if you're not into that, I could see where the gripes may come from some people. But then why did you even care? Because that's what they were saying from the beginning. This is what good.
Well, who else got the game here?
I
I
think
didn't play
everybody
it.
except for you, actually.
Terrell, you got it?
Yeah, I have the game. I just haven't played it.
You haven't played it.
I got it, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I said we got the game downloaded.
You guys been waiting. You might as well wait a little bit longer. I mean,
You're waiting like
8 months for the
I
Switch.
wasn't in a hurry to be real. I mean, you had Mario Odyssey come out. I wasn't really sweating. I wasn't like fiending for no platform.
2 years ago, I was excited, but it doesn't.
I know things change.
somebody asked.
It wasn't going to come out 2 years ago. It was going to come out.
I know, but like 2 years ago, and then as it got closer, I started thinking of it less and less, and then
Yeah, that's about my mentality.
it happened.
My Versus series, and somebody asked me, "Oh, you should do Mario Odyssey versus you." No, that's
Yooka-Laylee.
I mean, you could see.
Retro might disagree, but that shit's not even close. And that's fine. I still really enjoy Yooka-Laylee for what it is, but it's not. There's no comparing it to Mario Odyssey as far as I'm concerned.
Well, let's, somebody like me who never really was a big fan of what Rare was doing with their games. I did see there were some things I liked. I realized Banjo looked better. Rare's games looked looked better than Nintendo's games on the N64.
Yeah.
And there was some good stuff there, but I just never could get into the way the games played. But I still, even with that, I still see Yooka-Laylee as like, this is a solid start. Like, they delivered on, for the most part, they delivered on what they said. It's not a Mighty Number 9. It looks like the game they first showed, and the Switch version running good and stuff was like, yeah, I like that, and I think it's a good step. This game, I'm guessing, didn't sell great on the Xbox One. I don't know about PS4. Probably, I would guess right now, PC's probably where it sold the most. I think the Switch will be the highest selling version when it's all said and done. But I like it as their first game they made. Like, the
funny thing is that I talked about it myself, where I love that Banjo-Kazooie, you can collect the jiggies, which is basically the stars from Mario, and keep going, and you just kind of did your own thing. This game could actually benefit from being more like Mario 64, where it's just like, all right, this is the this is the pagey you're going to collect this time, and you go back and collect this pagey, because it's, like I said, it's a little too open-ended, and you'll run around for sometimes and not find anything for a good while sometimes. But it just needed a little bit more structure as far as like what you're going to be doing, where you're going, where the pages are. Because Banjo-Kazooie is really good at, like, when you got basically transformation, it was really good at, like, you knew where to go to use that power up, and not so much in Yooka-Laylee. It's just like you kind of have to stumble on, oh, I can't do anything here. This must be the power up area where I have to use the power up to get to do anything here. And for me, like, I have no problem doing that, but I can see somebody else that's not attuned to this type of stuff that would be like super frustrated. Like, where do I go? How do I get this thing? I knew right away, because I'm a Rare veteran, but some people I could totally see where the gripes were coming up for. Before, where I was like being kind of defendo about people's complaints about the game, I could totally see it now as somebody who maybe not attuned to like the Rare gameplay way of doing things.
Yeah, I mean, every time I'm impressed by what I see. Like, I'm impressed they pulled off what they did on the Switch. I like the art direction. I actually like, is Yuka the lizard?
Yeah, Yuka's the lizard.
Yeah, I like his design quite a bit. And you know, the world, everything seems. I like the color choices, and I like what they created. The one question I have, because this is what to me looks the most lacking, is what is the move set of the character? Like it literally looks to me like you jump, you can do a tail flip, and you can float.
Yeah,
that looked like the extent of the move set.
That stuff, that's so funny because that stuff was so Banjo-Kazooie. Because when you first start Banjo-Kazooie, you can't do anything but jump, and then you have to go to like Bottles, which is the he's like basically the guy who gives you your arsenal. He's the little mole or whatever, and you go to him, and he shows you what you can do. So as you speak to him, you get more moves. And in this game, it's Trousers, the trouser snake, which is hilarious. I love that. That's the one thing I love about Red too. They're really funny at stuff like that.
Yeah, trouser snake. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's like he's a snake, and it's like his little, you know, his one snake body is going through a pair of pants. It's hilarious. And he gives you your moves. So he's like the Bottles in this game. And so you have to go to him. And again, if you're not used to that, like, and you're just running around in this big world, you're like, how do I do this stuff? You got to remember that Trouser is your guy. And they remind you once in a while, like you got to, and his currency is those little, little leaf, what do they call the little?
Oh, it looks like
the quills. Yeah, the little gold things. That's his currency. So usually when you get enough, he'll say, all right, you got enough to come to me and learn a new move. So he gives you all the new moves. But you get
several moves per level.
So there's more than what I've seen.
There's several moves per level, definitely. Yeah. At this point, I have like nuclear sonar blasts and shit. Like it's pretty elaborate.
Right. It gets. I'm not that far yet, but and I know, you know, based on my history, that you know it could get. You can get a lot of stuff, a lot of moves, and along with the moves, you get transformations too. Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah, because I'm watching the early gameplay stuff. I'm only watching the first level. From basically, I wasn't really looking for anybody that was far in the game, and I'm just like, I'm thinking Odyssey Mario has the most moves he's ever had, and the controls are perfection in that game. And then I see Yooka-Laylee, and I just see a single jump and a tail flip, and I'm like, is that all this game has? That's what I was asking, because I'm not.
No, you can double jump, and then you could do like a spin. So it's almost like a spin dash. you can double.
Oh,
you can
I remember that.
And then another jump, and then you're gonna do a spin dash type of thing.
Basically, each separate character, Yuka and Laylee, get full move sets and special moves and everything separately and together. There's a lot of moves to unlock.
Right, and that's what's different from Banjo-Kazooie to Tooie, where Tooie, they basically split them up, and they all had their own move sets. So that's why I said it feels more like Tooie than it does Kazooie. I feel like I'm spitting or something.
That's good, because I didn't really want to watch too far ahead, because in case I get the game down the road, I didn't want to like see a bunch of stuff. But then I'm just like,
but it's cool though. Like the world is cool. The villain, I like Capital B. I think it's clever.
It's amazing.
Capital B is awesome, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So
the one thing that's really killing me though, and I'm hoping there's an option to turn it off, is I've talked about it 100 times.
Yeah, we already know what it is.
It's not, and
it's not a way to turn it off, but you can
turn it off.
You can you turn it off?
In the options menu, and then sound, there's the short speed or something, or you can turn it off. Even if worst case the speed volume, you can turn it off.
I didn't care to turn it off because I like that stuff. Like
I like it too. I love that shit.
I literally can't get a minute into a video of gameplay of that.
And
but you can skip though. You hit
even if you leave it on, exactly. If you press the X button, the text goes faster and they stop talking.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that to me that's a deal breaker for me.
I love that shit.
I love it too. It's classic Rare to me. So
if it just did it a little bit in the beginning, but it's nonstop.
But I totally understand, because I was playing it the other day. My wife was like, are you seriously? That is the most annoying thing I've ever heard in my life. What is that? I was like, oh, it's this game.
I was watching someone demonstrate what it looked like in portable mode, and I don't remember what channel. Somebody I wasn't even subscribed to. I don't think, and he's just like, oh my god, like, shut up. Like, this is annoying. Like, damn, right what I was thinking.
But actually, the most annoying thing in the Kazooie games was collecting the items, like especially if you collected a bunch of like feathers in a row. It was like like it just wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
And that was worse than the voices to me. But it's funny because in this game, collecting stuff is way more subdued. So
yeah, that video you made, the when you're walking.
Oh yeah, I knew that you would say something about that. Where I was going up the little pirate ship and collecting the feathers.
All you could hear was those terrible low, like audio.
Listen to the music. You couldn't even hear the music.
I still can't get over $40 price for this game. I mean, we've debated.
Should have backed it. I think mine was 20.
Yeah, it's just
like. Because of all, I know they got all this money. Yeah, they had to buy office space and hire people and stuff. It's just, to me, it still just doesn't feel right to me. And if the price comes down someday, I'll get it. I know.
Man, it's not like your typical. I don't know. Is there a typical 3D platformer indie game? Not really.
I feel like Juice is like that old man in the corner. Like, you know what? I understand you worked hard, but you know,
yeah, but
I just don't think you deserve it.
Up front, you know.
The thing is, not to just diss too much on that, because I love Mario Odyssey, but when, for example, in Odyssey, I'm walking in a level, I'm getting annoyed by walking around because everything is so open, for example, and the levels are so straightforward. And in Yooka-Laylee, I feel the levels are a bit bigger and better designed. It's fun looking for things in this world,
Yes,
and with Odyssey, it's not as much fun.
Yes, you have to be a person that likes to explore levels and stuff. You're not.
The fun of Odyssey is just all the things Mario can do. Like
it's funny because I was playing it. I was like trying to think what would Juice like, and I'm like, there's a thing. Is it a power up or there's a transformation, and it's like you have to transform into this little flower thing, and I think that's like the first level. I can't remember the name of it, but
I can't believe that was the first transformation. That one was so lit.
yeah, and it's like so you're running around the world and you're like, oh, you talk to this flower, it's like the flower's like, I got nothing to say to you or something like that. And so you have to change it to a flower to get it to talk to you, and it's one of those things where you have to run all the way back to the transformation person. I forget her name, the octopus chick. And then you have to run all the way back across the world to the flower. So I'm like, this is the thing that will probably annoy you because you didn't like that.
That's just bad game design.
Yeah, you thought it was.
I like
bad.
it that the game has a lot more adult humor than Banjo-Kazooie and that kind of stuff. I think like Platonic, they went with the age that the game is used to be. Like with the flower, when you, for example, try to pollinate a flower, the other ones go like, "Oh, I think it's time for this stuff right now."
I feel like you're trying to pollinate the flower, and the flower's like, I think it's a little too early in the day for this.
Exactly, and like you learn how Yooka-Laylee did, like watching pirated movies and shit. It's
that was
so
very much like Conker's Bad Fur Day, where you have to pollinate that one flower. It's hilarious, and that was totally pulled from that game. I thought the humor for that. So
yeah, so that could be a next year type game for me. Like we got freaking SteamWorld Heist coming out on the 28th. They just announced that, so there's another game coming out this year for the Switch, which is a game I
have Heist on Wii U. I don't need it.
I never played it, but as far as like you're right, like that kind of stuff, having to go all the way back, and then I'm sure it's like slow traversal when you're the flower. Does it slow you down? Like, are you?
When you're the flower, you can't run for crap. Like it's cool as Yooka-Laylee because you get to roll and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're the flower, it's just kind of burn.
And that's the stupid thing, because I know from the trailer you have some really cool and awesome fun transformations. That flower thing is just so stupid.
Yeah, that's the type of
I can't
thing.
wait to get the dump truck and all that stuff. That looks really fun.
Like that's the type of thing that could get you to hit the home button and the X button right away. Like, close that app. I'm gonna play something else like that. For someone like me that'd be on the fence, you'd have to start off a little bit stronger, I think. But I don't know. But as far as Odyssey's concerned, I'm playing the last level. It's very hard. It's very 3D World-esque, where it's a start to finish, very challenging level. When you die, you start at the beginning. So that I spent about an hour, maybe not an hour, 35, 40 minutes probably. And I was like, yeah, I kept getting further and further, and I was like, yeah, I got to play some Xenoblade. Like, I'll try this again later. That felt like right at Champions Road to me. Like, it's the same type of level, and I don't know, like, I've been pretty critical of Odyssey and the moon collecting, but other than during the Game Awards, I had to spend basically 2 hours playing the same level over and over to get enough coins to buy the last 100 moons I needed. I still think that's absolutely shouldn't be in the game, but I've just come to the movement of Mario, the controls. Like, that was my first impression of the game, was how perfect the controls are. They're still perfect. The amount of moves you can do, the advanced moves with Cappy, like Retro said, we didn't quite know what you're saying at first. It's the evolution of Flood. Well, in the fact, not in the transformation part, but in the fact that you can throw it out and jump off it, it gives you more moveset. Like the Flood, you could backflip and do the hover and gain a little altitude, type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just moving Mario. Like, if I just judge the game just on its controls for Game of the Year, controls and how the character, all the things you could do with the character, Odyssey would be number one by a mile. Like, Game of the Year based on that fact. And playing that hard level, I'm not dying because of the control. There's no part of none of my deaths are because of anything controls related or move. Like, everything's so tight in that game, and because of that, like, yeah, there's a bunch of moons that are just kind of childish, like, but then you watch Dashy play it and he's struggling to get some of these moons that I'm complaining are too easy, so it definitely, they had them there for people that aren't as good at those types of games. But
The last thing I want to say is, you're talking about Odyssey and the moons that are just kind of there. I think that's another thing that Mario got from Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, is that, yeah, you'll have Jiggies just kind of just hanging out, easy two that are just there, that are not challenging or whatever. But you also have the ones that are a lot more challenging. So, and I think because of the fact that you can just grab them and keep moving, that's another reason that Mario Odyssey decided to have all these kind of just moons that weren't super challenging to get to. It's just something to keep you going along. So
yeah, I mean, I think that game, out of there's like, what was it, 800 and something was their first number for the moons, and then I could tell they just added those ones you can buy. Like, that's what got it to $9.99.
Yeah,
if they would have just kept it the way it was, that 800, I would say, if there was 100 more of those that were, you go into a room and it's a challenge room, you get a moon for having skill. Maybe not even 100, maybe just 50 more of those. And this is like knocking on Breath of the Wild's door.
The challenge of the ones you just buy is you got to have enough coins and you got to stop buying. And it's not a huge challenge, but it's something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's something to keep you going. It's something to make you care about coins and dying. It's something.
I didn't mind having each kingdom you could buy one for 100. Like, that to me was fine. But
yeah,
I'm at 880 and I need 999, and I've gotten every moon in all the kingdoms. I need 1,000 or 10,000, whatever the coin total you need to buy them all. So I just have to spend like over an hour on the same level over and over to get the most coins, like, because I'd already done everything, and I bought a bunch of outfits. That's why I didn't have enough. So that's my big complaint. But still, like, New Donk City, to me, New Donk City is just platforming bliss. Everywhere you go, you can get up to the top of the building so many different ways using different skills that you've gained, like jumping, diving off your hat, mechanics and stuff, real, like, advanced moves that I couldn't do in the beginning. Now I'm pulling off like one try.
But to me, like, even that, like, I'm throwing my mom in here. She used to drive me crazy with the Super Mario Brothers, the first one. she would go to World 3 something, and all she would do was collect coins and keep getting more lives.
Mm-hmm.
And she would just keep playing that level over and over again. She would die and just go back. I just used to drive me insane. So to me, that's a bit of like that old school repetition stuff that used to do in like platformers. Or for me, I used to, it's like World 3, 2, where you can jump on the Koopa Troopa and get the 1,100 lives or whatever you want to do.
I could never do that. I think I pulled it off once.
Oh wow, yeah, that was to me. It's just like that's an old school trope where, I need all these coins, so I'll keep going back in this world and getting them. That's what we used to do in like the 80s, especially in video games.
Yeah, I just feel like
they play a level over and over and over and over again.
I really feel like all that
bonus
999 number and says, let's just make it that to get to the final level. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of thought put into that, but I think to me that reminded me of like the old arcade way of video gaming. So
wait, but does that mean the final one's 1,000?
999.
999.
No, but even like 999, you unlock the final level. You don't get like a moon at the end.
I don't think so. I think somebody would have posted a screenshot of with 1,000 moons on there.
True, that's true.
But it is. I have been running into some challenge. The last. There's once you beat it, and there's each kingdom has at least 2 challenge rooms that each have a moon. One's harder to get than the other, and some of them you don't have your hat, type of stuff. So the end, like, I don't know how many moons I want to say, like at least maybe 20, 25 moons were all pretty much what I hope that game would have been more like. Just like go into the door, go down this metal-looking pipe for those that have beaten the game. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 moons in there, and it's a challenge room. That's the kind of stuff that I wish there was more of, but I've come to terms with that, and the last level definitely making me feel like Champions Road. So I'm definitely going to try to beat it before the end of the year. That was my goal with Champions Road on Mario. I remember New Year's Eve, I played it for like 3 hours till I finally beat it. And it wasn't the most fun, but it was very rewarding at the end. So anyway, let's move on. Got a couple more things. One is Soul Calibur 6 confirmed to not be in development for the Switch, and but they're very interested in the console. So, we talked about this at the Game Awards, and I mean, it still could come, but unless they're straight up lying. I mean, if you take what they said to heart, it's not in development. So
I said I said in the chat that my interest in Soul Calibur 6 is currently not in development. Because it just doesn't make any sense to me. The Switch is a proven entity, and
I think it would sell the best on the Switch.
Oh, they've been working on this game for blah blah. Well, okay, now divvy off a few guys and start on the Switch version. Like they could have started on the Switch version at E3 when the Switch was already at like 5 million or something. Right.
We've come to a point where I don't want to hear developers say we're interested in Switch. No, either fucking put the game on there or just shut up. It's like the interest doesn't do anything.
We just do stuff for it. We're interested in the PS4.
Yeah, you never hear that. Yeah, we're interested in the Xbox One. We're thinking.
The thing by that point is selling and running. You want your game on here.
Yeah, I honestly think it would sell the best on the Switch. If Soul Calibur 6 launched day and date, I think it would sell, unless it's absolutely broken piece of trash on the Switch, I think it would sell the best or equal to the PS4 version.
Especially if it had like, a Fire Emblem character or something in it, or
oh
gosh.
Fucking Lucina, Marth, something.
Yeah.
And then Terrell's buying it if it's got Lucina.
No, I think you like Lucina more than I do.
So you'd buy it. You'd buy it with Lucina.
I mean, I like fighting games. I'm just saying, you would get it before I would for Lucina. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, who else should I have named? Corin? I don't know. Robin?
No, you're not gonna figure it out. It's fine.
No, it's the purple
Lynn?
hair, the purple hair girl.
You're talking about Camilla.
No, Camilla.
I think you like Lynn.
I mean, I like Lynn. Look, it's Charlotte. All right, Charlotte from Fates. Go look up a
Nice,
picture of
nice.
Charlotte from Fire Emblem Fates, and you'll understand. Other than that, don't worry about it.
Charlotte from Fates.
I'm
Yeah.
looking around.
Does she have like big?
I
You have a fucking computer,
Look
Google.
it
Oh my gosh.
She has big eyes.
don't know how to spell Charlotte.
Nice
Yeah.
job. No, I know how to spell it. What?
This is
So-
stupid. This is what happened.
Anybody else
man.
any thoughts on Soul Calibur 6 not coming to Switch?
Maybe we
mean,
should support
I
that
think
for
I
it.
still think it is. I think it's coming and it's gonna get announced
I
soon.
kind of fell off Soul Calibur after 4, so
Oh, I
I
see.
haven't
What?
played one since 2, but
they had a chance to get me back, and they just lost me. They just lost me again.
Yeah, I don't care that much personally.
unless Nintendo's like, you can't confirm this, but then they're just straight up lying, like it's not in development. Instead of just saying we're looking into it or something, no, they said specifically it's not in development, and
Yeah.
it's like, why not? Like, it makes no sense. If ARMS can sell over 1 million,
That's what I'm saying. Fighting games, aren't in the best graces that they've been in the past, So you would want your game to get on, I think, multiple consoles, especially one as popular as the Switch is. So I just don't get it. I don't get it at this point.
yeah, it's just to me, it's like, now, I mean, who makes that? Namco?
Yeah, Namco.
Yeah, that's not cool.
They be
Do they-
talking
what,
what they ain't showing none.
what other games they got coming out? Do they got
They
any?
just recently announced that My Hero Academia game that's coming. That's
That looks
Wow.
sick.
no, it does. It's just another arena fighter. I'm so mad.
Aren't they the
wanted
one-
to be a fighter. It looks amazing.
It's all right. It's gonna be an okay game, but that's about it.
Who's the one that said they had 3 exclusives coming?
But that was
and,
Bandai.
That's
and
Bandai.
multi-plats?
So I think one of them is Pac-Man Championship 2 Plus or whatever. it's called.
Yeah,
That's one of them.
Probably.
because that just got announced.
It's exclusive, so that's one.
Well, if they said exclusive, then I don't know the other two. Then
How's that exclusive though? Because isn't that on like?
This version is exclusive. See, that's
I think. I think this version.
That's how they get away with it.
Exclusive
That's how
because
they
it has
get
like a
away with
Mario hat or some shit like that.
it. Yeah.
So that's
But
one game.
that's the only exclusive game they've mentioned. I mean, the other two games, the Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia games, are both multiplats, but they're
Yeah.
on the Switch, but they're both multiplats.
supposed to be 2
I'm
more
surprised
exclusive.
the Xbox is even getting My Hero Academia.
I don't know why they did that. That game's not going to sell on there.
Because it's easy. It's just
You know what I was fucking mad about? That One Piece game they announced and said, "Oh no, that's only on PS4, Xbox One, and PC." I said, "How fucking dare y'all?"
you just got to press the Xbox button on their render.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
It makes no
Game's
sense.
not going to make any fucking money.
You're not gonna make any money, so I don't know why
It
it's
just makes no sense at this point that it's not everything, every third party, especially Japanese, it should just be
yeah, especially
on the
Japanese.
Switch. Like, it makes no sense.
Oh yeah, well, I think the other thing we can mention is that Dragon Quest Builders has a release date in America.
Yeah,
Yeah, February or something.
Yeah,
That's
February.
the first
I think
game?
I'm thinking of another one.
like,
Isn't that come out yet?
The second game is the second game out?
one is
No, I don't think so.
No, the
No.
second game isn't out. The first game is what's getting. It
yeah.
has its release date already.
Why do one at this point if two's coming
Well,
out?
I guess because I don't know. I guess, well, yeah, I think one is the one that has the exclusive feature of having a riding animal you can run with. Although I think because no other version of the game has that, it's not a big enough deal, but it is something exclusive.
It's just kind of, at this point, it makes no sense to. We shouldn't even have to wonder if it's coming to the if a game's coming to the Switch from a Japanese developer.
You would think that, and you'd be wrong.
Oh, so Metalman in the chat, he's getting back to Xenoblade. He's got Nia ahead of Pyra on his favorites chart.
He
so
may have got. I want to ask him how far he is in the game. That's my question.
I don't see it.
Because if
Isn't he
he's
above
far
Pyra?
enough in the game, I can kind of understand him. I don't
He has a cool
agree,
character.
but I can understand it.
So if he has Nia above Para, I guess he likes that pussy.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
that's some low
Look at
brow.
the cat.
That's some Robert humor right there, sir. that's some.
There's a few references when you wake up from an inn. How'd you sleep, Nia? Or I took a little cat nap. It's like,
Yeah.
And everyone
You
was
hear
like,
that
ha ha ha, get it? You see her ear? She's a cat. Mm.
So
I love the wanted poster of her and how she was so pissed off.
Oh, shit, I mean, man, that's a misrepresentation. And then Tromark's like, it looks like, wow, it looks exactly like you. What you say? Oh, no,
Man.
it must have mixed up our faces. I'm sorry.
that Zeke character, that's so funny.
Oh, God. I don't think they've met Zeke. Y'all haven't met Zeke. Zeke is the greatest man alive.
But there's a lot of good humor in there.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you read the cross cut scene where he's talking about when he asked him why his eye patch. He's like, why you have an eye patch on? And he's like, he gives this really elaborate story, and then Pandora's like, and it's not because he tried to he couldn't afford 2 contact lenses. It was like, bitch, how dare you just expose this man for being a fraud?
That's a pretty good picture there, T.
Yeah.
Shut your face. What the fuck? Oh yeah, that's Charlotte. Yeah,
that's a fan art.
Yeah,
that's fan art, but her outfit looks like almost is exactly
pretty much exactly like it though.
So yeah, that's that. Nice. And that if you want to throw out your what waifu of trails needs to be shown, it's Charlotte. I have no shame. Fuck it. It's all about my my barbarian looking chicks because she runs around with a giant axe, and that's all right with me.
Got the waifu pillow yet?
No, I'm not. I don't feel the need to invest. Hey, you're asking a lot of personal questions, T.
Hey, they're good for the wrist look.
I thought we weren't exposing people's fuck. I thought we were trying to not expose people information. Man.
It's true.
No, I don't own a fucking pillow, by the way. They're gonna throw that out there because they wouldn't make one of Charlotte because she's not a popular character.
And that's when you gotta make your own DIY.
Making one.
Oh no, I probably if I want to go through the effort, I can commission somebody to do it. Yeah. It's not that big of a fucking deal. What is this? Oh, well, Tiki's all right. I mean, I see Juice posting Tiki. That's also because Juice has weird taste in women. He said, "Oh, her tits are too big." Bitch, what?
Is this real life?
Yeah.
Is there such a thing? Oh my goodness.
But anyway, what I was wondering is the what is that company that makes those figures I bought? Figma.
Yeah.
Like long time ago they had like a female Corrin pre-order thing up, and it was supposed to be out at the end of this year. I don't know if it ever came out.
I haven't checked on it. Oh yeah, then Fire Emblem Warriors has a DLC coming out. Its first batch coming out this week too.
But the question I was going to ask is, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 gets some Figma characters or Pyra or whoever. Like, I think that would be something I would pre-order because and the Samus one I have are they're awesome figures. So
that's not why you would get it though. Let's be real here.
I don't get into
lotion.
I don't get into it like that. Way better than Amiibos are cool, but the Figmas, I mean, if you can get them for the regular price and not their inflated price, they're actually a really cool figurine.
No, they are. It depends on the character. Depends on how much I invest in it.
Yeah, because if you get it like in Japan sitting on the store shelf, it's like it'd be equivalent to like $20-$30, but to get it after the fact, after it's been sold out, and try to get them shipped to the U.S., it's like $80 to $100. So, that's the kind of thing you have to get in.
It's the internal importation struggle. That's what it is.
But
or what some people like to call it, the titty tax. That's what some people like to call it.
And now we're going to talk about Floor Kids.
Yeah. How'd you know? I didn't know that game came out. 9 Parchments came out, and
9 Parchments is like, oh yeah, forgot about
it.
That.
Only took me to only got up to 3, and then I just stopped giving a fuck.
Like these games just come out. I was kind of waiting for Floor Kids. I was waiting for 9 Parchments, and
well, now you don't have to wait.
Now it's like I'm in the middle of like 4 games right now.
You're supposed to buy it anyway, Jiz. What's wrong with you?
Did you play it, T?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you watch his newest video
about Floor Kids?
Well, he uses Floor Kids footage
of it. Yeah, I'm playing it
on the Switch.
Yeah.
What's the actual? What do you do? Do you just like?
It's a rhythm game.
Yeah, it's a rhythm-based game. You do combos.
Is it just by
How are you waiting on the game, Juice, and you don't even know what it's about?
I've waited for more information. And all of a sudden, it's out. I see in T's video. Like I didn't even know. So, just from looking at what's happening on screen, I can't tell what's prompting you to.
You got to play it. You have to learn the move set, and it's a timing rhythm based game, and you do certain moves. There's different levels to breakdancing, so you learn those, and you combine those with different moves.
Yeah, guys, just go watch T's video on his channel. You'll get it.
Are you using like the analog stick or just button presses?
It's analog stick, and directional moves and freezes, and it's dope, man. It's dope.
It looks. I mean, I love the art style.
The music is great. Like, it reminds me of like the '90s backpacking hip hop. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but there was like a movement in the '90s where it was just like kind of like the socially conscious hip hop stuff, and it just really feels like that.
You mean when individuals were woke? So to
Yeah,
speak?
individual woke, and the like. you had like rap groups that like graduated college and things of that nature.
That sounds like some blasphemy, sir.
Like a part of
Next, you gonna be telling me they know how to read. I don't hear that shit.
they didn't do mumble rap and none of that nonsense. It's like they were actually saying some stuff. So the music is awesome and it's fun. The combo setup is great. It definitely I haven't played it that much. I know it gets a little harder because you have to like basically the chorus is where you switch up and you have to like almost kind of like Parappa the Rapper where you hit, where it changes though. It's not just like, oh, you're hitting on the beat, but it's, it's like any rhythm game where like the chorus changes, you got to hit it on a certain thing and tempo and timing and whatnot. So it's fun. It's fun as hell. I can't wait to play more of it actually.
I mean, like I said, that was one of those ones I've been sitting here waiting for more information, and then all of a sudden it's out.
It's out.
And what was that? There was another one, like something Hollow Knight or something. Did that ever come out on the Switch? Like
I thought it did.
Hollow Knight's out? I didn't know.
It was out on the PC for a while, but I know that was shown.
Let's go look because I got the Switch here.
But I was looking at the best sellers, and something was like way low that I thought would be up higher.
Is it not Resident Evil?
No, you're talking about it was like 15 even, right?
Maybe it was Yooka-Laylee wasn't.
Oh, that Max Cursed Brotherhood is out too. That's what threw me off.
No, that's not out yet, is it?
Yeah, I saw footage.
It was the 21st.
Oh, someone must have got a review copy, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's the 21st that game comes out.
You know what I'm so confused about? Why the fuck is Overcooked still in the top 10?
I don't.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know why people play it so much.
It's still probably top 3.
I feel like Rabbit came out of a tunnel. The fuck was that about?
I can understand why people wanted it, but especially weird because on the Switch it had fucking massive issues, so it's weird.
So I don't even know why people.
And what was interesting was Mario Odyssey was number 2. Like I looked last night, full $60 game, number 2 on the eShop with all these $10 games. So
yeah, it's still losing against fucking Rocket League, and Stardew Valley is like right behind it.
Well, Mario's already over 5 million. So
Losing at 5 million plus.
like,
that's how we lose, baby.
I thought it would be big, but 3D Mario games have never like been like huge, even though 64 was a system seller and stuff. And Galaxy 1 sold really well, but Galaxy 2 not so well. 3D World Sunshine.
Sunshine sold like 7 million, didn't it?
I thought really? I would have guessed more like 4.
Or maybe it is 4, but I'm thinking 7 is close to 4.
Don't go back on your word, Robert. You're better than that.
I think Sunshine sold like 7 million, which I remember it surprising me.
But the interesting thing to me is like I thought Splatoon 2 was going to be Nintendo's biggest launch ever. Like I knew Japan was all about it, and I thought the US and the European market maybe was going to go in on Splatoon 2 because a lot Switch was exciting and new and stuff. And for some reason I didn't expect Mario Odyssey, even though those views on those YouTube videos and stuff, like according to VG charts, that's week 1 was like 2.2 million or something worldwide in the first week, and then it's already over 5.
Yeah, Mario Sunshine at 6.3 million.
Wow.
GameCube.
Wow.
More than I thought.
That's a damn shame. That's more than you thought.
Quality sells.
And Galaxy 2 was more. I didn't know that hits 7.5.
I think some people will respectfully
Galaxy
disagree.
was 7.5. What? Galaxy 1 was over 10.
It was at 11.
11, yeah.
Just
never mind. Apparently, Hollow Knight is not out. I lied.
but if you look
Because
at New Super Mario Brothers Wii and New Super Mario Brothers Super Mario World, those are
games are so
20 to 30.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So, but I just was not expecting, for whatever reason, I knew Odyssey would sell well, but I just didn't expect it to be the biggest game. This, it's probably already ahead of Zelda, and it's had way less time. Zelda's still selling. I think it's in the top, still near the top 10, I think, on the best
it's 8.
So it's still selling great. That's gonna
Apparently, I'm surprised Skyrim and Resident Evil and SteamWorld Dig are like the bottom 3.
SteamWorld's still on there. That's cool.
Yeah, it's it's on sale right now.
Yeah, there was a couple games on sale, and SteamWorld's one of them, 25% off. So if you haven't picked that game up, that's a definite.
I'm still baffled Resident Evil's on here.
It's just, I think, too little too late for the Revelations.
Yeah, it's
Revelations 2 is on here, but I think it's because
2 is on there, but 1 is gone.
Yeah, 1 is gone, but for some reason Revelations 2 is still up there.
Because
Nintendo fans already had 1.
Well, I think it's also that in the online. Apparently, people really like the online for 2.
Oh.
And
the game sucks.
By the physical, you still have to go in and download. I think that counts.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
eShop. Well, you're going to have to download it. Same thing. That you buy the physical.
That is a perfect point. Yeah.
So, I guess.
I'm sure that's why.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Plus, everybody that's just buying that version, if they are. So, I just think that those games would have came out same time, Halloween on the Switch.
Yeah, a couple months earlier.
I think that would have been more beneficial. But I was last time I was at Best Buy, like all the Skyrims that they had a bunch of them. Those were gone, except for maybe one, and LA Noire, which they had quite a few of them launch time. Those I didn't see any left. So
Nintendo has financial stake in Skyrim. In America,
pretty well. So I'll be interested to find out if we get some. We don't get good numbers like that. We just get what's like the top selling NPDs and all that. We don't find out actual numbers, but I think Skyrim's going to actually do pretty well. So,
I haven't seen Doom.
No, it's we haven't played it online in forever. I'm waiting.
Played anything online? Well, I haven't anyway. What you got?
I'm really waiting for the audio patch before I go all in with finishing up Doom and stuff, because the last couple times it's cut out on me. I'm just like, come on, get this shit fixed. Like, I don't know. I expected something to be out by now, but I'm pretty far. I've been playing the arcade stuff where you just play the one level and try to get points based on how quick you put together kills and multi-kills and stuff. It's actually really fun for anybody that's got Doom. Maybe you played the single player. The arcade mode's actually really fun. So, but yeah, I think that's about all we got for tonight. Crazy. It seems like I thought we were going to go longer with all the stuff to talk about, but we got through it, and now we can have an hour of final thoughts.
I'm taking a nap, folks. I'm getting my bed comfy and shit. I'm about to grab this pillow. I'm going to sleep. Bye.
5 minutes.
Your Charlotte pillow.
Charlotte pillow.
I don't want to fucking eat y'all.
You fucked that one up, man. We had to knock it down.
Man, y'all ain't shit. I thought we were supposed to be boys. I thought you were supposed to hold me down.
We boys with pillows, dude.
Man, you ain't shit, Robert.
I got a serious question. Legit question.
Okay.
For Terrell.
Oh, no.
If you had the choice
He said no.
of a Charlotte pillow or a Pyro pillow, you had to pick one, and you could only have one, and the other.
They were but they were life size, and they were like themselves.
Just go with it. A pillow, a Charlotte pillow, or a Pirate pillow.
Fuck. Because the sad thing is, I like. If I could choose the artwork that's used, then probably Charlotte.
Okay.
Now, if I can, it's the default artwork, then it's Pyra. Because I don't care for Charlotte's default artwork, but I like Pyra's default outlook.
And as they say, there's no bad answer there probably for you.
Well, yeah, it is because I'm a weirdo fucking talking about getting animated characters on pillows.
Yeah, but that's just a pillow. It's all right.
Okay, it's a pillow. It's not a big deal.
It's
Okay,
not
okay.
like I don't know. It's whatever.
Let me go show my future wife. Hey, Garrett, look at my anime pillow. The fuck is wrong with this dude?
But then she's gonna be like, "Well,
Might be like,
check
"Oh,
out
that's
my anime pillow." And then
I got one.
I'm not gonna want her
Yeah.
anime pillow because it's gonna be like a dude with like boxer shorts on.
Exactly. And you're gonna
You want to
fall in
sleep
love.
next to
You're gonna fall asleep,
some anime hot guy? Fuck that.
You're gonna
That
wake
man-
up and you're gonna be slobbering all on his.
I'm about to think about it. That man's gonna be. Think about it. That man's already gonna be better looking than you, and he's gonna be.
Mouth gonna be wide open on the boxer shorts.
But then,
You ain't shit.
man, all I know is that'd be cool if you just had like one of them holograms, some Blade Runner sort of.
You know, yeah. Speaking of Blade Runner, the AI, the girl that plays the AI character in that, she'd probably be my body pillow. Cause
Yes, definitely.
Can we stop, please?
that girl,
Ana de Armas. That's what she
that
called.
girl,
Ana de Armas.
ridiculous.
That's her name. Yeah, she's
What's her name?
incredible. Ana
She-
de Armas.
She is pretty hot and tempting.
Yeah. It's if the technology gets to that point, the population's going to drop significantly over.
That's all I need, man. Put on my VR headset, and I'm gone.
So anyway, Terrell, final thoughts.
I like video games. Fire Emblem DLC this week. Patch for fucking Xenoblade. I like. Well, yeah, update. Christmas is next week, so I don't know if we're doing a podcast.
Right. What the
Monday.
change the date.
So if
Yeah,
we don't do one, Merry Christmas to you all, and to all. Hope you get your body pills because they're fucking amazing. It's not like I would know, but you know, I just heard they're fucking amazing. Life's a game, play to win. Later days, bitches.
All right, Robert. I've started off with who would your body pillow be, and then give
Oh,
your
is that a running thing now?
My body pillow would be Margot Robbie. That'd be pretty awesome. And or Daisy Ridley, or Ana
You
de
can only
Armas.
pick one, so
Okay, Margot Robbie for sure though. But you know, it's been a good weekend. It's been filled with Star Wars for me. I've been loving that movie. It's so damn good. I definitely recommend people checking it out. Although, you know, it made 200 something million, so I'm gonna guess you checked it out. And yeah, you know, I now finally I have like a whole month off, which means I can actually dive deep inside of Pyra. No, I'm just,
Cut this shit off, yo.
inside of Xenoblade. And we're gonna see how this is. I'm gonna check out how that game is finally. And I do want to play some Yooka-Laylee, of course.
Robert,
What?
I'm giving you homework.
Oh, what is it?
How dare you?
The next podcast,
Yep.
if you don't have Mithra,
How deep is that?
Yeah, that's not fair.
that's
I've
how
been playing for like 20 hours and still don't have her.
Yeah, but that's not fair, Juice.
you can put 20 hours into the game.
It's more than I wouldn't do that, yo. That's dark.
Not
I
much,
don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah.
not much over 20. Telling you, because Clocked It just got to her, and he hasn't had that much time to play. So
So you want? That's my homework is to get to
Yeah.
Mithra.
you know,
What if?
you have to have Mithra.
I
Who's
feel like that's not fair.
who's first? Mithra or Pirate?
Pyra's
Pyra's-
first.
if you don't have Pyra yet, you haven't played an hour.
I no.
So you need to have Mithra on the podcast next week. That's your homework
That's
assignment.
a lot
never
of
gonna
asking to
happen.
do, yo.
He's got
He's got nothing to do.
do.
He's literally got nothing to do for a month. So
We'll see.
Well, no, but I mean,
You
it's
can
not
do
like I don't. It's not like I'm literally not doing anything for the next week. I'm doing
Exposed.
things. I'm doing things. You know.
Also, how dare you give this man homework and he just got out of school? How fucking dare you?
Man, imagine all homework was that.
They're
Good
trying
to
to-
Mithra. That'd be pretty awesome. But you know, I'll try. I'll attempt, and once I see Mithra, I'll take a photo and be like proof.
Yeah, take a snapshot with your fucking Switch.
Yep, or that. That's true. Why would I take a photo of it? Yeah.
Drunk. He's drunk, kids. Don't drink.
And then I mean, yeah, have a good life, have a good time.
Oh, don't
and
do this.
Yeah, we'll
And-
definitely have to figure out because I mean I'm usually done with all my Christmas stuff by 5 p.m. But I don't expect you guys anyone.
no,
with
well, in terms of Christmas Eve, we're up till like midnight. Like
Christmas Day, I'm
that's
talking.
the thing. What's Monday? Wait, what's Monday?
Christmas
Eve or day?
Day.
Day.
Day, I don't do shit in day. So that,
So I mean it could possibly be Tuesday, probably Tuesday. We'll plan on Tuesday.
I woke up on a Tuesday.
But retro death, you gotta continue the trend. Who would your fictitious hypothetical body pillow be?
It's gonna have some shit anime taste. I know that. It's gonna have
What the fuck? Like I always go, but it doesn't matter. Nobody knows her anyway. But I would always go back to Button Kaitos, a shut up body pillow. I would definitely take that.
Okay.
I just looked up the Charlotte, and I think she looks kind of creepy, so I don't get that.
Yeah,
Well,
creepy.
dude, she's a nice blonde with
I
some
don't get
Man,
creepy.
big ass eyes.
The base art didn't do anything for me. Gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's the fan art that kind of saves her.
As for the rest, like I can't believe how fast today, like the podcast went by so fast, and we talked about so much, but it feels like we just started. Like I don't know where the time went, but I highly suggest just use like $40 for Yooka-Laylee. It's totally worth it. Like I'm already stuck on like boss fights, for example. Like if you want a challenging game, I highly suggest anybody to pick up Yooka-Laylee. And yes, I also agree with Robert that The Last Jedi is definitely among the better Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
All right, T. Same question. Forget you're married and with kids and stuff, and just play along.
I ain't scared. This would what I guess what we call the waifu pillow was before my actual wife, so crushing on this chick forever. Jennifer Connelly.
Oh yeah.
You probably should know these things already. And Paul Bettany had to come and marry her and mess everything up in 03. I know exactly when they got married, son. He took my wifey away. I know he ain't hitting that right neither. Anyway, Zoe Saldana had it for a minute, but then she lost it. But anyway, yeah, I'm like I said before. I think I mentioned before in the podcast. I wasn't sure about Star Wars. At least it wasn't like exciting me anyway. And the thing that's exciting me more is that that to watch it is that there's not all this fanboy fervor around it. There's a lot of dissenting opinions and whatnot going on. So that makes me more excited to watch it than it would hearing everybody gushing all over it, busting nuts all over it like usual. So I didn't have time. I was going to watch it last week. I didn't have time. But I'll definitely watch it sometime this week. I'm sure the theaters will still be stupid packed. But anyway, yeah, go pick up Floor Kids if you're into rhythm games. You'll love it. It's dope. Especially if you're like into hip hop, old school hip hop, 90s hip hop, it's great for that stuff too. Yooka-Laylee, you should have backed it because you'd be paying $20 less. But I would, if you like platformers, you should definitely play Yooka-Laylee. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm in the Xenoblade. It took me a minute to like get in, and then all of a sudden I played it for like 6 hours straight the other night. So I'm definitely in now.
Yeah, I literally played it every day between last week's podcast.
Okay. I think it was last night I played it for 6 hours. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, it goes fast. You're like, oh, I'll just do this one side mission. Like, oh no, I gotta go to this other area. It's like, then you finish that, and then you're like,
in 6 hours. Like I haven't done that in video gaming since like.
Did you? I did that with Breath of the Wild. I played 12.
No, I mean
hours.
like previous systems. The Switch is like reinvigorating my long gaming sessions. I just did not see this happening. I thought I was not going to be doing that, but
yeah, it's good shit, man.
Because you can just, like I said, you can play it, and then if you got to do something, you can just carry that bitch with you and keep playing it. and that's just greatness, man. So very cool. Like I
All
always say, play into the rules.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna do a real person waifu pillow, and then maybe a video game.
No, you didn't say that. See, you know,
Maybe a video game. So
Yeah, go video game at least, man. You got me out here exposed and shit.
I'm gonna start
well,
with
Retro did
the
too.
actress who's. I mean, I don't have to give reasons why. Alexandra Daddario.
Oh,
She
oh
definitely-
god, I gotta change my
I
shirt.
forgot.
Funnier than the
dude,
damn
I forgot about
Gotta
Alexander
change my
Daddario.
main reason to watch San Andreas. I mean, unless you have an awesome theater room, then sound is the other reason. But
I watched that HBO show, True Detective. Oh my god, you can see more of her in that.
I've watched that a few times. My second choice with an actress would be, and I just lost her name.
It wasn't that important. You weren't paying attention to her name.
She was in the terrible sequel to 300 and
600?
what the fuck? What is her name? Casino Royale. He was the main girl that died. His love interest.
Spoilers!
Hey, somebody. Eva Green. Eva Green. She'd be
Oh
nice.
god, oh god.
She's probably tied with Alexander Daddario.
My
But Eva
dick,
Green,
man, my dick.
that is one bad bitch.
So weird
So
because like Eva Green's like the first time I saw her was like what Casino Royale. I think that's the first time I remember seeing her, and she didn't do anything for me in that movie.
Really?
And all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, Eva Green.
I loved her since that movie. But and then like a video game, anime character. I mean, there's so many choices. It's the easy ones to say like something from a game I'm playing right now, but I don't know. Zero Suit Samus would be hard to pass probably. So I'll go with that one. So
I'm surprised Robert didn't say Lollipop. Actually, now that I
Jessica
think about
Chobot
it.
as
well, yeah, I Margot Robbie's just a little bit better than Lollipop.
Oh yeah, because she ain't actually thick, Robert. That's why.
Lollipop.
Scarlett
this dude.
Johansson's been in my top 3 since the Lost in Translation, which feels like it's 20 years ago now. I wonder how old that movie is.
Lost in Translation is like 2004.
Yeah, like
Movie encyclopedia at this
Crazy
bitch.
I just like how you're like it was 2004. Ah,
Oh no, it was my arm. I was laying on
Really?
it.
I was confused. I said, what happened?
you've probably seen it in 2004 because it came out in theaters late 20.
Meanwhile, Denise Richards. True.
Yeah, she was all right for a while. Pamela Horton wouldn't be too bad.
I feel like we've gotten away from the final thought.
Yeah, this is the thirst part of the podcast.
But
Everyone's
really-
holding their dick. They're just not telling anybody.
Oh my gosh.
we're getting done pretty early, so if anybody wants to play, some Rocket League or something, I mean, I'd be
Rocket
open.
League.
You're not even into the podcast yet. Chill out.
That we played, yeah, we played.
He's so excited he on it in the podcast.
Yeah, it's like you ain't even into
Yeah.
the podcast. How you talking about this shit?
But anyway, good podcast. We had
Oh, is it?
good chat in the live chat. A lot of discussion going on, and yeah, it's just been a great year. And like I said last week, we're going to do our game of the year probably middle of January. So it's just got to give a few games some more time. I know T especially you got a lot more games to put some time in. So look forward to that, and we'll probably be back on Tuesday, the day after Christmas next week. So everybody have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas or Hanukkah, depending on what you celebrate. Whatever else there is, hope you enjoy it. Be safe, and we'll see you next time.